Going on, Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Gerber Exchange Blade. These have been around for years, but if you've never seen this black topo version, that's because it's a Home Depot exclusive. And one of the rare instances where the exclusive's a little bit cheaper than the original version for whatever reason. You can pick this up in store or online at Home Depot for $14, and the regular silver version on Amazon or direct from Gerber is about $18. So save a few bucks, and I think it looks great. Now I actually have a couple of these, and each time I pick one up, I always pick up the same inexpensive upgrade to make swapping out the blade just 10 times more convenient. It's not too bad as is. It comes with this screw installed, and this is what you need to remove to change the blade. Hopefully that's focusing in there. And this is a nice enough screw because it is elevated outside of the housing, so you can turn it with something like a credit card or something like that. You don't actually need a flathead, so that does make it fairly convenient. But with the upgrade, we have this thumb stud, and they come in a bunch of different colors, pretty much the entire rainbow of colors. I went with that lime green. But you get the thumb stud that you can unscrew by hand, and so you don't need any special tool to swap that out, which is nice. And it's only $7, so it's affordable. It's a nice kind of cosmetic upgrade as well, and it does aid in one-hand opening. This is still a little bit kind of clumsy for one-hand opening just because it's small, but you can see very much doable with that thumb stud, which isn't really a thing when you just have the screw installed. So it gives you an alternate method for opening it. Typically you would just pinch the housing and pull it out, swing it out with your other hand, which is also pretty convenient and easy to do, but this is nice to be able to do one-handed if your second hand is full. It also has a liner lock, so nice lockup on that, so it's nice and secure for your cutting needs. 5.1 inches in this open position, so that equals out to about a 3-finger grip for me. You can see my pinkies hanging off the back there. It does extend the handle a little bit here with this housing for our blade. That also means that we're only using about half the blade, so you can always just turn it around before replacing it to use the other half of that sharp edge. And the handle itself is about 2.85 inches, so in that closed position it's super compact, about 2.85 inches by an inch wide. Weighs in at just about 2 ounces. I think I weighed it with the blade installed and that new thumb stud at 2.08 ounces. Don't remember if I mentioned the thumb stud pricing. It's $7, so brings the total cost of this up to $21. I still think it's worth it because it's so much faster for swapping out that blade, and it does look better, gives you that one-hand convenience. I'll link to that option down in the description of the video as well. Last upgrade I made, which is one I wouldn't really recommend. I think it made sense for the YouTube thumbnail, but overall just isn't a cost-efficient upgrade, is the blade. We have that black topo blade as well to match our handle. I got that from Zero Feud, where they sell a 5-pack for $25, so that's a $5 utility blade. They're really not a great use of your funds, so would recommend sticking with the installed or any standard utility blade. It does come with a single utility blade, but if you do want that, I'll link to that as well. You can probably find it cheaper, a black topo razor blade or utility blade, on Etsy as well, so maybe I'll find one of those and link to it as well, although my experience has only been with the Zero Feud ones, which are great. They're just kind of a cosmetic upgrade where they laser those into there. So again, that housing is nice, it keeps it protected, but I showed it with the standard just kind of hammer grip here, but if you want to get that more controlled grip for those utility cuts, you can get right behind that blade, get all 4 fingers on here at this point, and slide through those utility cuts with ease. And so very comfortable both ways. That liner lock keeps everything locked up, and obviously it's pretty easy to access since that tab is sticking out visibly here, so it makes it easy to access. A little bit of stick on this one, which I assume is due to the coating. It didn't really have that with the other examples that I have from them, and so that will most likely work itself in over time. I think it's already a little bit looser than when I first got it, and so a little bit of lock stick there, but again, something that should wear itself in time. We do have this pocket clip, so if you don't want this just kind of jumping around everywhere in your pocket, you have that pocket clip, perfect for a 5th pocket carry as well. It's nice and compact. It only, again, less than 3 inches by an inch. And we can also use that as a money clip. They advertise it as. I've never used it for that. I don't know that I ever would, but it is an option. They say you can put some credit cards in there as well. This pocket clip is decently tight, but you can see pretty springy. It will expand. I would imagine if you're using this as a card holder, it will get looser over time though, so not sure how well that would hold up. Again, I haven't really used it in that capacity, but I do think this is a really cool option. I liked it before we had the black topo version, and now I think it's a cool option that looks great as well. Obviously, it's pretty hard to beat these slide out utility blades. So this is just a sleeve with a sticker on it, but these slide out the side and you have access to the corner of that blade. You can pull this all the way through to turn that around so you still have access to both edges, and then obviously really easy to replace without tools. And these usually cost less than $1, and especially if you're buying them in bulk, you can get them for extremely cheap. So these options are a little bit hard to beat, but if you want something a little bit more sturdy with a little bit more handle, has a liner lock, and just has a little bit of extra utility, I think this exchanger blade is a really great option. Even if you go with the non-topo version, just that standard silver, like I said, I have some of those, and they even have a light version, which I don't know if I have a light version actually. I know I have their Prybrid as well, which came around the same time. But again, these have been around for a while, so it's kind of a staple of their lineup. Definitely worth picking up at that $14 price point, or $21 if you include the upgrade to the thumb stud, in my opinion. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, checking out some other content. All helps the channel out a ton, and I hope you have a great one. Take care.